Hey, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's vlog. If you are new here, I'm Amber. I make videos about kind of crunchy motherhood, lifestyle, and more recently about trying to get pregnant with baby number 2. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, I would love it if you subscribed. Today's a pretty easygoing day, thank goodness, because for the last 2 weeks, I feel like every day has just been jam-packed. And I actually even told Alex on Saturday, like, we are due for a Saturday or a Sunday where we just don't do anything. Yes, sir. But I took kind of a sigh of relief when I looked at my schedule for today and saw that there's really not that much that I need to get done, and the things that we are doing are more just for fun. We're gonna go outside for a little bit right now because it is time, sadly, to get rid of the spring and summer garden. It's looking pretty rough, except for the strawberries and the raspberries and my lavender. Everything else is looking super wilty and crunchy and brown. So yeah, I guess that is the end for those. And then after that, Kai and I are gonna go on a little walk because we need to get leaves for a craft that we're gonna do later. Surprisingly, the basil has actually held up pretty good. That is my only hesitation now for getting rid of these 2 tomato plants because I think they're providing some protection for the basil. And here's my zucchini. Oh, there's actually, yeah, I should pull that off. Let's get to work here. Oh! Thank you. All right, there it goes. Oh. Oh, no, that one's rotten. I decided to hold off on the cherry tomato plant because that is a whole contraption since we had to reinforce it multiple times. Hopefully I have time to get to that later today, but if not, I'll probably just do it tomorrow or this weekend. I might try to repot the basil though because it's looking pretty good still, and I think it's just because the cherry tomatoes and the regular tomato plant were just kind of like covering it a little bit, so I might try to keep it going for just a little bit longer. We also got a bunch of leaves, so Kai's eating lunch right now, but once he gets up from his nap, we've got a little pile in the backyard that we need to sort through, and then we're going to do his craft, and I think he's gonna have so much fun. made some dough for dinner tonight, and we're gonna go downstairs now to do Kai's craft. He's in his room right now. I am not a super crafty person. It's not something that I've ever really done on my own. Hold on. So it doesn't translate to me naturally just having a bunch of ideas to do with him, but it's something I know he enjoys, so I'm trying to incorporate it in our month-to-month schedule more, but I am heavily relying on Pinterest and TikTok and Google to come up with ideas. I also think it can get overwhelming because with social media, you see people on Instagram and maybe YouTube doing crafts with their kids, and it seems like they do that kind of thing like every single day. So I am trying to just pace myself and not be influenced by that. What I've been trying to do to keep it not overwhelming and fun for him and me is to just come up with 1 or 2 crafts for the month. Something that has something to do with like the season or the holiday that we're in. And at least for right now, to just keep it simple, low mess, and as affordable as possible. So last week we went to the pumpkin patch and we got 2 pumpkins. Instead of carving them, we just got some finger paint and we just let him go to town. He loved it and he could do pretty much the whole thing all by himself. So today we're making a little fall wreath, which I think he's gonna have fun with. That's why we were collecting all the leaves. We have a wreath for our front door, so I thought it would be fun for him to make a little one for his door, and he could have it on there all through November too, or like as long as it lasts. That definitely ended up being more complicated than I thought it was gonna be, so this might end up being a 2 to 3 day project. At first he was getting frustrated because he wasn't understanding that you can't be like moving the leaves around once you glue them down, and then I was getting frustrated because I didn't think about the fact that they're not flat, so you have to kind of like hold them down to get them to set. But we finally got our method, and now I think it's just a matter of attention span. So he actually did quite a bit, but it's not done yet, so I think this is gonna end up being a multi-day project, but I will definitely show the finished product whenever that is. Future Amber here. It's just a couple days later. This is going to be the finished product. I did not completely think this project through, or I guess I did, but I couldn't have known. This is just way too big for him, and so he just doesn't have like the attention span to glue enough pieces on to fill this up. So he did do most of these himself, and he did most of them the day that I vlogged. We did a little bit yesterday, and he did a few pieces, and then he's like, all right, on to the next thing. And another thing I didn't anticipate is all the leaves that we collected getting crunchy like the next day, and they need to be soft and pliable to get them on here. Otherwise, they just start breaking and make a huge mess. I honestly, my perfectionist mind was getting kind of frustrated, and I yesterday was like, should I just throw this away? Like, is this stupid? But every time he has worked on it, he's really excited about it. Like, he always wants to show his dad. Like yesterday, Alex was cleaning the bathroom. He glued a few pieces on and immediately was like, Dada, and like took it over to Alex to show him. So we're going to go ahead and put this on his door because I know that he doesn't care if every spot isn't filled in. But if you were going to do this with your own kids and they are like 3 or under, make sure to make your little wreath ring a lot smaller. I'm so mad at myself because Alex asked me how big he wanted me to make this, and I was like, oh, as big as possible, because I didn't think that it would be so complicated to get the leaves to stick on. Like, I really thought it would just be like glue, stick, but you kind of have to like press and hold them down for like 10 seconds to like get the glue to start to set. Anyway, I think it was fun for him while it lasted, and like it's cute and he'll be proud of it. It's 7 p.m. I need to head outside right now to cover up my little fall garden because we are supposed to get temps around 30 degrees tonight. I know next week we're supposed to get like freezing or below, so I don't know how it's going to hold up to that, but so far everything is doing really good. I mean, they're small, but the spinach in particular is growing pretty rapidly. I also forgot to mention that today is going to be the first day that I am taking letrozole. I take it for 5 days, so I will update you sometime in the next week or two on how that went. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here though. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.